This is like the most anxious I've ever been to start talking about a book ever. But solely because, like, I just finished it and I don't know what the fuck to say. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Rosalie Reads here, and today we're going to be doing something that I've never done ever in the history of my YouTube channel, which is a video where I read 7 books in 7 days. Now, I have not seen a video with this particular setup of books that I have decided to read, like the category that I chose to do for them, and that category is reading Kindle Unlimited books that I've never heard of, which is also people's underrated TBR and books I've just found on my own. So, that being said, I have chosen, I wouldn't say a few books off of here. I have the list of the books right here that I'm going to read, but I'm only going to tell you them one by one because some of them are similar concepts, but not same plot ideas. So that being said, I am excited for them, but I'm also just not going to tell you every single book that I've decided to read because I am a mood reader. So that being said, if I change my mind, I wouldn't be able to change my mind. So I'm going to tell you the first book, which is the book that I'm going to read today. And then I'm very excited to start. This was the one that I was most excited for, and it is Killer of Mine by Alexis Grace. And it's the first book in the Of Mine series. And essentially, it is a book about a girl who is the daughter of a serial killer. Her name is Freya. And we've got 4 FBI agents that are hunting her down. Well, hunting down the mother. And they essentially figure out that the girl is the daughter of the serial killer they're hunting for, so they basically force her to help them find her. It is a Why Choose, which I'm excited for because I haven't read a Why Choose in a very, very long time. So, I am going to set this as currently reading on Goodreads right now because I am going to start it and I am going to finish it today. And I'm kind of curious to see how this challenge is going to go. Because, okay, yes, I have read books in one sitting, but also, like, unprovoked, I have done that, not planning to do it, so, especially every day for 7 days, that's kind of crazy. At least to me, that's kind of crazy. But I am super excited for the rest of these books. I don't think I'm going to change the TBR, but just in case, that's why I'm not telling you guys. All of the books that I have chosen are in a range of around 250 pages to 800 pages, and the only reason one of them is 800 pages is because it is a duet in one book. I am assuming the first book is around 300 to 400 pages, and I'm only going to be reading the first book, so that being said, that is the range. I've tried to stay under 400 pages, but the last book that I chose is a duet, and that is the only reason why it's 800 pages, but I'm assuming the first book is only like 300 to 400 pages. Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started reading Killer of Mine, and I'm super excited. I really am. Okay, let's go ahead and get right on into it. So it is day 2 of reading Kindle Unlimited books that I've never heard of, and I finished earlier. I read up to 80% day 1, and this morning I had finished the last 20% while I was at work. And I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of basically what the book was about, what happened, and just basic rundown of everything before I give you my final thoughts. Basically, the book follows Freya, which is the daughter of a serial killer who works to fight against him because after she escapes his clutches, because he's forced her to do these like horrible things growing up, because let's face it, a serial killer is probably not the best father to have. So that being said, she escaped his clutches and she moved on. She grew up to try to become a detective so they could find him, catch him, make sure he doesn't hurt anybody else. And in doing so, she meets these FBI agents, who is River, Oz, Jude, and Eli, which are these 4 guys that have already been looking for him for a long time. And off that mission, because that's basically not her jurisdiction, because she is like a smaller detective. She's not one that handles those big of cases. So River, Jude, Oz, and Eli, they find out some stuff about her that basically causes them to put her on the mission with them. And while they're working together on this case, they sort of form relationships, all 5 of them. It is a why choose romance, which I've stated in the beginning. So this is not information that I'm telling you. They all kind of refuse to have like relationships with her simply because she is the daughter of the serial killer, but eventually like they're all kind of worn off. Jude was like the first one. He didn't really care that she was like the daughter of one of the most renowned serial killers. He trusted her basically off the bat. Next was Oz to go, then it was River, then it was Eli. Eli was a little bit of a harder man to convince for reasons I'm not going to state. He will find out in the book. The book's just about them trying to figure out this case, and it really was just like an interesting book. I am not particularly like a thriller girly or mystery girly or anything like that, but I guess there's not really mystery in this. Well, a little bit, just a little bit, because there was a plot twist that I didn't see coming. Like 10 minutes before it was said, I figured it out. So that being said, it is kind of predictable in that sense, but I normally turn my brain off when I'm reading unless it's like something political that I need to be focused on. So it's bad when I recognize what's going to happen, because I don't think while reading at all. It was a little bit predictable. I will be continuing the series though, because it is really interesting. I did have a fun time reading it. I really like the characters. Specifically River and Eli. Those are like, I just really like broody characters. Male MCs. I just really like them. But I did rate the book 3.75 stars for that reason. Predictability, and it was a good book. It just wasn't a 4-star for me. Like, I liked it, but it wasn't the best book I've ever read. Because I know when books are going to be 4 stars and 5 stars automatically. This just wasn't it. I enjoyed it though. Like, it wasn't a bad book. I just, for a fun time, I wouldn't read it seriously. And it does discuss like darker topics, which you kind of have to expect because it is a book about finding a serial killer. It does have like slight gore, not heavy, but it does have that. So I would say read the trigger warnings before you go into it, which I don't really have a problem with basically anything when it comes to reading, simply because I'm so desensitized from my own childhood that I just don't care about anything. So I'll read anything. Like, you can throw anything at me and I'll be like, okay, cool. Interesting. I think I've only ever had one book where I was like, what the fuck? So I didn't necessarily have a problem reading it, but I know other people have a lot of issues with stuff being read. Like Haunting and Hunting Adeline, people say is like really, really dark. I didn't personally think it was that dark, but people have their own opinions. That was just mine. But I know I'm also desensitized, so I can't tell you like this wasn't dark necessarily. Maybe for like newer readers, maybe. But I don't know. I had a good time while reading it. So I would suggest checking the trigger warnings though. And I'm down for everything. So anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and start day 2's book, which is The Roommate Risk by Talia Hibbert. But I just wanted something fluffy, right? I have a feeling this is fluffy. The cover is cartoonish, so maybe it's fluffy. I don't know. So it looks like the two main characters are Raoul Khan and Jasmine Allen, and they are basically best friends. And Raoul has always been like into her, but there is a certain circumstance that happens that she's forced to move into his house. And basically, so it is forced proximity. So I'm going to read this one next, which is cool because I've always wanted to read this one, I just haven't. I want to say it is an interracial couple, just going off the cover, because that looks like a white man. But you never know, it could be something else. So I'm going to read this one next. It's 352 pages. I'm going to try to get it done today. The only reason like I didn't finish Killer of Mine yesterday was because I was just so fucking exhausted. I don't know what happened to me yesterday. I just fucking zonked out before I could reach the ending mark. So I am going to try to finish this one today. It should only take me, the Kindle says like 5 hours, so it's 5 essentially now. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading and having a good time, and I'll give you an update when I'm finished with it. Okay, thank you. I will see you guys in a few hours or tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, guys. So I am a liar, and I've already failed this challenge. So, anyways, as I said yesterday, I said I was gonna read yesterday. Did I do that? No, I didn't. Other than reading, Killer of Mine, and I said I was gonna start The Roommate Risk yesterday, but I didn't. So that being said, I started it today. And I'm gonna finish it today and hopefully start the 3rd book so that way I can get back on track. But literally, I didn't start it yesterday like I was supposed to. So hopefully we can get on that track today again. But yeah. Anyways, I'm about 50% in. So I do see a good chance of me finishing this today. Thank God, because literally I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? But thankfully, I checked the page on this one. On the Kindle, it's like 333 pages, but I'm pretty sure the paperback's only like 250 around. So this was a light read, thankfully. So that being said, I'm going to finish this today. And brief synopsis. This is about Jasmine Allen and Raoul. I don't know how you pronounce the name. But this is best friends kind of to lovers. So we're slowly getting into a friends with benefits area type gray line. Lines are blurring. I can tell you that right now. And right now, I'm not that really interested in this one. I'm gonna finish it, of course, but I'm like not that interested in their love story, and I hate to say it, but I just don't feel the connection right now, okay? Because yes, we've been friends for an obscene amount of time, but I just don't feel it. I feel like it's lust there, and that's all I feel. I don't feel like there's love to this. And I don't know. And I'm really sad because I'm just like, well, that's unfortunate. I didn't really want to have like a bad one this early into the video, but oh well. I guess we're having it. Yeah. So that being said, I'm just gonna keep reading, finish it out, tell you my final thoughts, and then we'll start book 3 and see where that goes. I don't know. Yeah, but the roommate risk, Telly Hibbert, that is where I'm at. I don't particularly feel any other way about it. I don't hate it, but I'm not rooting for the couple either. So I'm kind of in the middle. So I would probably give this if I were to completely DNF it, stop reading it right now, it'd probably be like a 2.75. Hopefully my mind changes, but that is where I'm at right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to reading and I'll update you when I start book 3. The roommate risk, like an hour ago, I was taking a break and really I was just kind of like, okay, final thoughts. Rated it 2.5. By like 60%, I already wanted to DNF it. Like, I was just so bored. And I don't know if it was because I read something with like kind of like a similar conflict that was going on with one of the characters. Maybe that was the reason that I was just kind of like bored. But at the same point, I don't feel like that was the reason. I feel like the writing wasn't my style. It was third person. I always make that mistake. I always say like that. Third person point of view as well. That kind of bothered me. However, like if you do it well, it's not going to bother me as much, but I just feel like this book wasn't for me. So yeah, I rated it a 2.5. I didn't feel like there was any connection between the characters. I didn't feel like we got enough. I feel like, I don't know. I just didn't vibe well with the characters. I felt like it wasn't as well written as it could have been. It had a lot of potential. Like it really did. It did have a lot of potential, but it wasn't for me. Not at this moment. And I'm really sad that literally the second book that we read, which I'm about to cross off on my whiteboard because I'm just like, ugh. And moving on to day 3. But yeah, I just didn't like it. Which I don't know if I'm surprised because I feel like the reviews were kind of mixed on the roommate the roommate risk. The roommate risk. Okay, the roommate risk. I don't know why my brain lagged on the title for a second there. But the roommate risk, like I just didn't, it wasn't my book. Next up we have, for starting day 3, Wicked Little Secret. I don't remember who it's by. Hang on. Cian Vega. It's by Cian Vega. It's a dark stalker romance between a professor and a student. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. I'm going to try to get as much as I can done tonight. And then I'll update you tomorrow with where I'm at. Because I kind of just want to read something dark. Like I've been in the mood for like dark romance for like a week now, but I haven't picked anything up that's kind of been dark. Killer Mine was kind of supposed to be dark, but not necessarily bad. It was pretty tame, I feel. But I'm pretty desensitized to a lot of things. So, that being said, it just wasn't that, like, it didn't grasp me like that. I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't, like, in your face dark romance. And I really, really just want, like, an in your face dark romance right now. And that being said, I've got Wicked Little Secret, which I'm kind of excited for because I haven't read a good professor-student romance in a minute, and I want to read one. And I really just want to read a dark romance right now. I know I've said it before, like 2 seconds ago, but I'm going to say it again. Like, this is me trying to hold off on reading dark romances, but literally I have a dark romance video coming up that I'm going to read 7 dark romance books in 7 days. And really I'm just like so fucking excited for it. I have like 2 of the books in front of me right here that I'm going to read, and then I have to order the rest, or most of them at least. I'm literally like so fucking excited, bro. So fucking excited. I really am. Okay, so I really am so excited. But yeah, this is me trying to hold off. So I'm going to read this one, try to stop myself off real quick. And then, yeah. So we're just going to go ahead and get on into it. And I will see you guys tomorrow when I update you on how far I've got into it. It's a little bit of a mini update. I've made it to 60% of Wicked Little Secret, Sienna Vega. And literally I'm struggling so hard. This challenge, I'm struggling with it so hard, and I don't understand. I was doing so good, and then I had an off day where I just didn't want to read, and now I'm struggling to put myself back on track. So I'm supposed to be on day 4. I'm still reading day 3's book. I started it last night, only read like 15 pages of it, and I fucking knocked the fuck out, which wasn't the plan at all. And now I'm sitting here trying to catch up. I'm just like, bruh. Oh my god. Actually, I think we're supposed to be on day 5. Fuck! We're supposed to be on day 5's book. So that means I would theoretically have to finish this one, finish the next book. I don't remember what the next book is. I'm not wearing my glasses. They're on top of my head, and I could easily look back. But, you know, I don't know. I'm struggling so hard right now. I don't know what it is. Like, I know in the back of my head that I'm behind, and that's fucking with me a lot. So I'm, like, literally can't focus. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta finish this as fast as I can, as fast as I can, as fast as I can. But I'm also trying as well to maintain my time and read the story and pay attention. And I don't know if it's this, but right now, I just realized I clicked the wrong book. Yeah, like right now, we're 60% of the way through. And I don't feel any sort of like towards characters. And I don't know if it's just me, because I know I'm behind, or if something will hit later on and I'm just like, oh yeah, this was top tier. But I don't know. Like literally killing myself right now, but I don't know. But I don't know. Like I have my giddy moments where I'm like, oh my god, like Therion. It's either Therion or Theron. I don't know how you pronounce the main male's name. He's so chill. Like, okay, he's not chill, but like in my head, that's correlates. Okay, so I'm heavily desensitized. I've already said this clearly. This is a dark romance, stalker type shit. Okay, whatever. And he's so tame compared to darker romances that I've read. So he's chill for me. Like, I don't, like, he stalks her and all that jazz. And I'm kind of just, like, in the middle because I'm just like, it could be worse. You know? It could be theoretically worse. And I wish it was worse. But it's not. Anyways, that being said, I'm just not vibing with it right now. But I also don't know if that's just because last book threw me off. And that day that I took off that I wasn't supposed to threw me off. I don't know. I should have just followed the plan that I had set. But also at the same time, you can't help what happens throughout the day. Because anything can happen. Literally. Anything can fucking happen. And I didn't account for that. I don't know. I don't know how people do these challenges. I really don't. Anyways, I'm going to keep reading. And hopefully I finish this book tonight, and hopefully I can start the next book, and hopefully finish it tonight, but I don't foresee that happening because I do have to be up at 4 a.m. Or 3 a.m. even, because I gotta get ready for work, which my shift starts at 4, so I gotta be ready at, like, getting up at 3, and I don't know. All I know is I'm ready for this challenge to be over. Like, I'm enjoying myself, but at the same time I'm not, because I'm just, like, in the back of my head, keep going. Like, I'm not good with challenges. I enjoy them very much. But I didn't foresee this happening. It's just chaos. Lots of chaos. And I'm kind of just like, ugh, you know? I don't know. I'm gonna keep going. And we'll see how things go. With the way things are going, we're gonna be reading 7 Kindle Unlimited books in 8 days or 9 days or however the fuck that the challenge is gonna end. But I will see you guys soon. because chaos is kind of like, you know. Anyways, keep going. We're just gonna power through. Ugh, this is like the most anxious I've ever been to start talking about a book ever. But solely because, like, I just finished it and I don't know what the fuck to say. Alright, guys, we are back. I just finished Wicked Little Secret by Sienna Vega, and I'm still trying to process what the fuck I just read. I have some regrets. Not anything with the book at all. I rated it 4 stars. So it was a bit of a slow start. The beginning 60% felt like it dragged out absolutely. That being said, the last 40% is what made up for it, and most of the time I had my own theories of what was going on, and let me tell you, I'm so happy my theories were wrong. I've never been happier that my theories were wrong, okay? A little bit of a spoiler. The relationship dynamic is complicated as fuck for the reasons that are closer revealed to the end. So spoilers, I've said it first, I'm going to say it again. Here we go, spoilers. So, you have our main characters. You have Nisa, however the fuck you say her name. And you have Theron. That's how I'm going to say him. Nissa is a student at this law school, and Theron happens to be her professor, okay? A little bit of a taboo subject, okay? I'm not objecting to any of the taboo subjects, okay? So we keep going. They fall into a relationship. It turns out that Nissa, I don't know how the fuck you say her name. Nissa. I'm going to say Nissa. Nissa is, Nissa is trying to discover who killed all of these people, and also while she's doing that, she's trying to avenge her own family because her family was relentlessly bullied during their time at that school because their family has been like generational. All of these families have went to the school, and in doing that, she follows her family's footsteps. She comes to the school to learn the law, but also as well as to find out who the killer is and also avenge her family. But it turns out that that's not actually, like, she was lied to her entire life. And but we're gonna get to that in a minute. Like, literally, they started their relationship, her and her professor Theron, and I was a little bit worried because slowly it started to come out to Theron had a relationship with the girl's actual mother. It turns out her mother was not who she said she was. Her mother was actually her aunt. And, you know, her actual biological mother had a relationship with Theron prior when they were going to the school. So I was like, this doesn't sound right. And my mind just starts working. And I'm just sitting here thinking, please do not tell me that this man is fucking his daughter right now. For like 15%, I was sitting here thinking and freaking out. Please tell me that this is not where this is going to go. And I'm so happy that that is not where it went. I'm so happy. Like, looking back on it, there was context clues that there wasn't any sort of incestual thing. But literally, I was like so flabbergasted in my own head. I didn't see the signs. And that wasn't like her dad. And I was like literally like freaking out. Like, it's a little bit of a weird relationship dynamic because technically Theron did date her mother and as well as dating her currently. So I was like, okay, that don't sound right. Because it was revealed that the mom had become pregnant and the mom ended up dying from the Valentine killer. Kind of. No. Her mom, I don't know. You'll read to find out that dynamic. But literally kept me on my toes for the last 40% is what I said. 40%. And like literally, like my head is pounding because I literally gave myself like the worst adrenaline rush with that 15% of me thinking that. I was like, should I keep going? Like, how do I even like navigate this? I didn't even know, man. I was just like, oh my god. Anyways, first 60% was slow. Here's my overall rating. 4 stars. The 40% is what made it up. And I didn't necessarily feel the connection between the characters until we started deep diving into the past. And so yeah, 4 stars. I stand by my statement. Like, that was like crazy. I really enjoyed it though. It just took me a minute. It really just took me a minute because it was like such a heavy thing to digest. I'm still sitting here thinking, like, I literally finished this book like 30 minutes ago, and I need you to know that my brain is still trying to process what I fucking read, okay? It was a lot. I'm going to keep going through this challenge. I'm going to start The Two of Us by Taylor Torres tonight. I actually have no idea what the fuck this is about. So, I just know, okay, so when looking for research into this video, what books I wanted to read for this video, I searched up I searched up specific, like, tropes I knew I wanted to read, and, you know, I filtered it for only Kindle Unlimited books, and I found the ones that I was like, okay, this seems interesting, cool. That's what I did for the first 3 of my picks, which were Killer of Mine, The Roommate Risk, and Wicked Little Secret. And then I went on and I watched Bailey Latham's video, which I'm recently starting to get into her channel after the NYC Girls Trip vlogs. You know, I just wanted to watch all 5 different points of views when they all went to New York with Larry, Mariana, Bailey, Laura, and then Emmy. And so I recently started, because I only watched Mariana and Larry out of these vlogs at the beginning, but now I'm slowly starting to like diverge and watch the rest of the girls that went on the New York City trip. And let me just tell you, like, I clicked with Bailey immediately. I was like, she's so relatable. So she was the first one I gravitated to. And, you know, like, her videos is partially what gave me the idea, because she had posted a video, I don't know when it was posted, but she posted a video of Kindle Unlimited books that are underrated, I'm pretty sure is what the title of was. So the next 3 of these are her recs, and then the last one I found for myself. But I'm literally like excited to see, because I haven't watched enough of her content to know what her taste is like, but I'm excited to see because, you know, favorites can say a lot about a person, so I'm excited to see for the next 3 books I'm going to read. And yeah, so I'm going to read The Two of Us by Taylor Torres. Hopefully I get a good chunk of that done tonight. It's only like 370 pages, I believe, so close to 4, but I literally just completed like an almost 500-page book. So as long as I get like 100 pages of it done tonight, I'm happy. But I don't know if that's going to happen because I do have work in the morning, as stated previously. And I still have to film my February wrap up because today is literally February 28th. So I got to film that today so I can have it out by tomorrow. And yeah, I don't know. I'm like, my mind's just continuously working right now, simply because of what I read and like me trying to like process that I've got to do some more shit before I go to bed. So a little bit of an update. I just finished technically day 4's The Two of Us, but we're going to be moving on to day 5 in a minute, and I'm going to finish day 5 today. but a little bit of a review for the two of us. Really enjoyed it. It took me a minute to get into at the beginning. The story essentially follows Mara and Ambrose and Kat, but the love story is between Mara and Ambrose, and Mara lives in a small town, okay? So there's these kids when she's younger, they move in the house across the street, so she goes over and she meets them. They're all best friends right away. Specifically Mara and Kat. And that being said, like, they grow up together. There's some feelings between her and Ambrose, but they don't never act on them for a lot of reasons that will be revealed throughout the story. And yeah, and then fast 4 years later, something happens, and it's kind of like a second chance romance. She comes back to town to try to help her sick father because he's sick. That's the reason she came back to town. And the boy Ambrose still lives in the house across the street. So they kind of fall in love with each other all over again. And it's kind of a cute but also very heartbreaking romance. I sobbed for the last 15% of the book. And I really wasn't going to give it as high as a rating as I did because I rated it 4.25, but I've been so emotional lately that I was just like, yeah, 4.25 fits. It really does. I feel happy with that rating. So yeah. Anyways, the next book I'm going to read is Perfect Strangers by J.T. Geisinger. And I have heard of the author before. I did read a series by her. I don't remember what the series was called, but I read it a few months ago. And it was kind of like an okay series for me. I wouldn't say like it was like my most like likable series ever. But I didn't realize until after I picked this book that was the same author. So, I'm still going to give it a go. Hopefully I like this one because it is a standalone. There isn't much to go off of, I believe. So it's only the one book, so I won't have to endure much if I hate it. And then I know I told you guys the last day it was like 2 books in one, and I was gonna read a book before that day. But I decided to take day 6's books off because it was by the author Sophie Lark, and a lot of stuff has came to light about Sophie Lark. So just because I have morals, like I'm not going to be reading anything more by Sophie Lark, so I went ahead and took her book that I wanted to read for this challenge off. And if you guys want to know the reasonings behind everything, you can go watch my TikTok. It's basically covering all of the bases of what Sophie Lark has done and why I won't be reading her anymore. So, that being said, I originally had one of her books on here, but I will not be reading it. So, for the last 2 days, I will be reading that duet together, and that way it'll just get it done as well. So yeah, that will be what we'll be doing instead. So I technically have 2 more books left, but one of them is the duet. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started on The Perfect Strangers. I'm intrigued since I know what the author's writing style is like. I'm very intrigued, but I'm kind of scared because I kind of didn't like very much the other series. Like, I didn't mind it, I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, but so I'm a little bit skeptical is what I'm trying to say. But I am going to read it, start it, hopefully finish it today. If not, I'll finish it tomorrow, then read majority or finish the next book tomorrow. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hopefully we have a good time. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but this mini update, and we're officially on the last 2 books of the challenge. So Hi guys. Okay, so I'm gonna end up ending this off here. I tried. I really did. But literally, I started Perfect Strangers by JT Geisinger. I made it 6% of the way through, just couldn't get into it. And I was like, okay, well then I'm just gonna go ahead and start The Anti-Heroes and Love Duet. Couldn't get into that. I just think I'm not in the mood. I made it 4 days in though. I don't know. I'm literally just itching to get to the next video of filming because that's something I want to do so bad. So literally that's all on my forefront, like all on my head. So that being said, I'm ending this video off here. I did over majority. I did like about 60% of the week. 65% of the week, yeah. I read 4. I read Killer in Mind, The Room I Risk, Wicked Little Secret, and The Two of Us. But that's where this journey ends here. Maybe in the future we'll try again. But I am just not feeling it right now. And I haven't really been feeling it the last couple of days, but I just pushed through. And yeah, although we did have some good reads, they weren't like anything astounding to me, and they're not anything I'm like in the mood for. So I feel like I haven't really given them a good shot. And even though I did rate them good ratings, that's what I'm like. They should have been a higher tier, and I want to give them good chances. But I'm just in the mood for something else. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, though. I sincerely tried. I really did. I had a great time while doing this, but I am struggling with maintaining my focus. So I'm not gonna force myself to do anything I don't want to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say goodnight to y'all, and I love you. Thank you guys for making it this long. I know this is a long video, but I mean I've made longer, I guess. So I will see you guys in the next video. That's the end of this one. Thank you guys for watching. One more. Okay. Bye bye.